Questions? Okay. Now let's go to section 15. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended except in cases of invasion or rebellion when public safety requires it. You will remember, if you took up Constitutional Law 1, this is also in section 18 of Article 7, no? Executive power. Because there, this is also being discussed. Privilege of the writ of habeas corpus. Now, normally, class, I don't really spend much time discussing this because you will discuss this again in detail when you take up special proceedings. No? But here, at least, let us try to understand the principle behind the writ of habeas corpus. Why is it a guaranteed right? Because even in the United States, they refer to this writ as the Great Writ of Liberty. Right? Why is it called the Great Writ of Liberty? Kasi class, when is it available? It is available when someone is holding another against his will. In other words, this is available when someone is being deprived of liberty. And the procedure, as you will learn in special proceedings, should be, or theoretically is, speedy and expeditious. Right? So what happens is that you file a petition for habeas corpus, the court will issue, will inform the respondents, they will have to file a return. Okay? So if the person subject of the habeas proceeding, habeas corpus proceeding is in their custody, they will have to bring the body of the person before the court. And right there and then, isa lang ang tanong ng court. What is the legal basis, no, that justifies your custody? And if you cannot answer it there and then, that person will be ordered freed. Okay? Yun yung, kaya siya Great Writ of Liberty. Okay? In fact, I am not anymore. No? I used to have so many habeas corpus cases. Not anymore. So, I'm not sure na, pero it is one of the remedies under the rules of court that cannot be dismissed or denied on a mere technicality. Right? Why? Because it is liberty that is at stake. In fact, hindi lang yung victim ang pwedeng mag-file. Right? Family, friend, even a stranger can file this on your behalf. Why? Because liberty is at stake. That's why it is the Great Writ of Liberty. Kaya hindi siya pwedeng isuspend normally, no? Except in cases of invasion or rebellion when public safety requires it. Okay? Now, let us look at some of the cases involving the writ of habeas corpus, beginning with, of course, Villavicencio versus Lucban. Siyempre, hindi niyo malilimutan ito, di ba? Yung ginawa yung mga pusa, mga prostitutes na parang pusa, nilagay sa sako, tinapan sa Davao. You remember that? Okay. Mayor ng Manila, para daw gumanda image ng Manila, rounded up the prostitutes, tinapon sa Davao. So, one of the relatives filed a petition for writ of habeas corpus. Ang defense ng police, hindi naman namin sila kinulong, ha? We didn't detain them. But sabi ng Supreme Court, you don't have to detain someone to take away his or her liberty. In this case, even if you did not detain these alleged prostitutes, the fact is you took them away from their homes. Tinapon nyo sa Davao, where they had no family, no contacts, no money, no nothing. Therefore, they had no choice. Even if they wanted to come back to Manila, they couldn't do so. So tinanggalan mo siya ng choice. And that is already a proper subject of a writ of habeas corpus. Okay? Hindi kailangan ng actual detention to claim that you have been deprived of freedom. Okay? In fact, going a step further, in Moncupa versus Enrile, this involves a lawyer who the military claims is not just a lawyer of the NDF, but is actually a member of the NDF. Okay? So he was arrested without a warrant and then detained. So when he filed a petition for habeas corpus, the military released him. Pero the release was conditional. So the military claimed the petition for habeas corpus has been rendered moot and academic. And here the Supreme Court said no. Okay? It will only become moot and academic if the restraint on his freedom has been removed. Okay? Ito, ginagamit ko to. In fact, kinote ko to dun sa Alejano versus Kabuhay. Where a person continues to be unlawfully denied of one or more of his constitutional freedoms, where there is a denial of due process, where the restraints are not only involuntary but appear to be unnecessary, and where a deprivation of freedom originally valid, has in the light of subsequent circumstances become arbitrary, okay, then the writ of habeas corpus is available. If you remember, in the Alejano case, if you read it, it was actually well, among others, an allegation. It was a habeas corpus petition, alleging mainly violations of the constitutional rights of the detainee. So it was a habeas corpus petition that was not questioning their detention, but was actually questioning, using Moncupa versus Enrile, the subsequent violations of their constitutional rights. So that's why kinote ko yung Moncupa versus Enrile. It was originally valid, their detention, but subsequently became invalid because of the violation of their constitutional rights. And then there is this martial law case of Ilagan versus Enrile, where kasi class, nung panahon ni Marcos, there were so many illegal arrests. So human rights lawyers were very busy filing habeas corpus cases left and right. And the usual tactic of the military dictatorship then of Marcos was, once you file a habeas corpus petition, they will immediately file an information and go to court and say, moot and academic, Your Honor. Why moot? Because an information has already been filed. Okay? Unfortunately, the Supreme Court said the military is correct. Once an information is filed, a petition for habeas corpus becomes moot and academic. Okay? Questions? So I really do not discuss in detail the habeas corpus and writ of amparo. Writ of amparo is not really a constitutional right. No? That's why it should not be part of the Bill of Rights. But just to satisfy your curiosity, what is the writ of amparo? That's different from habeas corpus. It was created through the rulemaking power of the Supreme Court. So it's not a constitutional right. It was a special proceeding created through the rulemaking power of the Supreme Court. What is a writ of amparo? It is a writ issued by the court, for two very specific cases involving enforced disappearances and EJK. Okay? Kasi usong-uso yan sa Pilipinas, lalo na nung panahon ni Mokmok. Pero even after Mokmok, it continues to happen, class. That's why I told you earlier, there was a time na halos every week meron akong habeas corpus hearing. And when I became the lawyers for the soldiers, nakakatawa nga yun. There was a time na siguro a span of 2 months, every week lagi nasa CA ako for a habeas corpus. The guards would, in fact, after a while, pag dadating ako sa CA, nagjo-joke na yung guards, Tony, ano kayo ngayon? Kaliwa o kanan? Kasi kliyente ko may kaliwa, may kanan. So, ano kayo ngayon? Kaliwa o kanan? Sabi ko, hindi ko na nga alam, nalilito na ako. So, mga guard nagsasabi niyan. Anyway, just to tell you how frustrating, There's one time, may lumapit sa akin, KMU, dalawang members nila were picked up in broad daylight. Ironically, paglabas sa simbahan, sa Quiapo. Sisimba, paglabas, may tumigil daw ng kotse, hinuli. Okay. So takbo ngayon yung mga kasama nila sa police station. Nearest police station. Ni-report kidnapping. Sabi ng police, ay, hindi yan kidnapping. Nag-coordinate sa amin ang ISAF. Coordinate sa amin ng ISAF. Suspected yung mga komunista na mga yan. Kaya hinuli ng ISAF. Okay. listo yung mga human rights workers ng mga NGO. Ganun po, sir. Pahingi ang certification para pagpunta namin ISAF, pwede namin mabisita. Gumawa ng certification. Okay? This is to certify na ganyan-ganyan on this date and this time, ISAF came here to coordinate for the arrest of ganyan-ganyan. May hawak kaming certification. Nagpunta yung kamag-anak, no, sa ISAF. Sabi nila, walang ganyang nakakulong dito. So, punta sila sa akin. So, we were forced to file a petition for habeas corpus. Okay. Yung military lawyer who was my friend, dahil nga sa lagi ko siyang kalaban sa mga court-martial proceedings, naging magkaibigan na kami. Sabi niya, Roel, between you and me, I really exerted effort to try to find sino may hawak. And between you and me, alam ko kinuha namin yan, pero hindi ko makita. Sabi niya, kung makita ko, promise tutulungan kita, pero hindi ko siya makita. Baka wala na siya. Pero hindi ko naman magamit yun in court. Usapang kaibigan yun. Anyway, meron akong certification from the police. So, during the habeas corpus petition, motion ako to allow me to present evidence. Kasi ISAF and their lawyers were denying it formally. We never arrested those two guys, sabi nila. So, sabi ko, allow me to present evidence. Pinatawag ko ngayon yung police station commander na nag-issue ng certification. Meron ako certification. Okay? Prinesent ko yung witness who got the certification, circumstances, paano niya nakuha, pinakita sa kanya yung blotter, may certification, nag-present ako ganun. Tinawag ko yung police. Compelled by subpoena to appear. Alam niyo, nagsinungaling siya ng sobra. Dininay niya that he ever issued a certification. Dininay niya na nakita niya itong mga kamag-anak. He denied everything. Dahil adverse party witness, I could ask leading questions. So exposed yung lies, but he was really just lying. To the point that the presiding justice nung division was so angered by it. Biglang sinabi, sumigaw siya talaga ng, ganyan, tag-PI. Sabi niya sa clerk, off the record. Tapos minura niya yung witness na sabi niya, pati kaming mga husgado, niloloko mo. Halika dito sa chambers. Pasok sila sa chambers, which is just at the back of the hearing room. Pasok sa chambers. Kami na nasa courtroom, rinig na rin namin, pinagmumura niya pa sa loob. Pinagmumura talaga na, korte to, wala ka bang paggalang sa korte, ganyan. Tapos, ang dami kong narinig na PI. After 30 minutes, yung pagmumurahan doon, balik. We resume. I ask the same questions. He still lied. So, anong magagawa? The justices had to dismiss because there is no proof that these two persons were in the custody of the military. Therefore, they cannot order them to release because the custody was not even, I was not even able to prove that they had custody. Okay? Kaya nagkaroon ng amparo. Kasi kung may amparo na ng panahon na yon, pag writ of amparo, it's not if you have custody, bring him here and explain why you have custody. Yun yung basically what the writ of habeas corpus is asking, ordering. Okay? Writ of amparo does not just order that. The writ of amparo says, this person has been reported by the petitioner as missing, okay, under the following circumstances. So, report to the court, what have you done? Okay. And then first, is he in your custody? And then why? Second, if he is not in your custody, report to the court what you have done to find him. Or what are your official activities in relation to this guy? If nothing, tell us. Anong ginawa niyo para hanapin siya? So, hindi pwede kayong magtanga-tangahan lang.